Hi everyone, welcome to Difference Frames the World, an independent channel where you can see the world differently in our daily uploads. Today, we are diving deep into the future of global power as we challenge ourselves to analyze and compare China and the USA and discuss who will come out on top. The concept of global power dynamics is shifting, and at the heart of this transformation lies the intense rivalry between China and the USA, like that between the United States and the former Soviets before 1990. These two giants are competing for dominance, and the outcome of their competition will have far-reaching consequences for the future of our world. Many viewers may disagree that China wants to become a superpower to dominate the world, as the country is neither belligerent nor dominant like the United States. To some extent, they are correct, but it is the United States that is forcing China to become a superpower and exert influence on international affairs as a world leader, not China that wants to seek global dominance. The logic behind this absurdity is simple. China has to become stronger militarily and economically so the US and its allies will not bully it like in the Qing dynasty. It is like when a person encounters a tiger in the forest, he has to be stronger or run faster than the tiger so he will not become the tiger's supper. China cannot escape as it cannot move its people and land to the moon. Even if it could, the US would chase it there. It has no choice but to become a superpower to defend itself. The US, on the other hand, has to maintain its global dominance so it can continue exploiting other nations. In the past 8 decades, the United States has created too many enemies who are eager to take revenge, and most of its allies, particularly France, Japan and Germany, have been oppressed for a long time, so they are also glad to see the United States declining. Take Japan as an example. If the US declines to a certain level and cannot keep its military bases running in Japan and South Korea, Japan will be the first to attack the US. The relationship between Japan and the United States is comparable to that between China's Tang dynasty and Japan 14 centuries ago. Japan admired and learned a lot from the Tang dynasty. Today it still keeps the majority of Tang's traditions and customs. When China became weak in the Ming and Qing dynasties, Japan invaded and plagued China multiple times. In the 1930s and 1940s, Japanese aggressors killed millions of Chinese militants and civilians. If the United States declines to the extent that Japan thinks it can take revenge, the Japanese extremists will not hesitate to take action against US occupants and their homeland. The United States, therefore, must maintain its global dominance, or pretend to be strong to fend off potential opponents. So, it is normal for China to become America's biggest threat. China has taken over the US, becoming the world's largest economy based on purchasing power parity for 10 years. Still, Washington wants to maintain its fake dominance over China. Since Donald Trump became the US president in 2017, the US has been at war with China on trade and technology. Although Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump questionably in 2020, the Biden administration continued Trump's trade and technology wars with China, and was even more ferocious. The Biden administration is Trump administration 2.0, and Joe Biden was more aggressive than Donald Trump when fighting China. Donald Trump has already started his new term, although his second inauguration is still 40 days away. Few people in the world care about the outgoing US President Joe Biden. Many are worried about the relations between Beijing and Washington under Trump's second presidency, or third presidency as he constantly implies. The trade wars between the two nations have sparked a heated debate about the impact of higher tariffs on economic growth. Take soybeans as an example. Donald Trump's first trade war with China resulted in a staggering $11 billion loss for American soybean farmers in 2018 and 2019, and the potential consequences of a subsequent trade conflict could be more severe. Soybeans played a pivotal role in Trump's original tariff dispute with China, causing American shipments to plummet by 79% during his first 2 years. Now, with China turning to Brazil as an alternative source for soybeans, it's crucial to consider the long-term impact on American agriculture and the need for strategic solutions to prevent further economic setbacks. China does not have to buy agricultural produce from the United States. It is worth mentioning that the shipment of American soybeans to China resumed at the normal level after 2020. However, if Donald Trump started a new round of tariffs on all Chinese goods, America's agricultural exports to China would have another plummet. Consider the current landscape of global commodities. China has strategically diversified its supply sources, welcoming corn and wheat from Argentina, sorghum from Brazil, and cotton from Australia. This diversification has led to an abundance in China's reserves. On November 20, 2024, China allowed Brazilian exporters to ship sorghum to China, a rare move to test Donald Trump's policy toward China, as the United States ranks #1 in exporting sorghum. Apart from agricultural exports, the technological competition between the two countries is also intensifying, with both countries investing heavily in AI, 6G, and other cutting-edge technologies. Both sides also strictly control the exports of key technologies, equipment, accessories, and raw materials to each other. As we mentioned in a previous video several days ago, China is vowing to abandon US chips, claiming they are not safe anymore. Intel, AMD, Nvidia, and Qualcomm will feel the pain soon, as they cannot find another buyer like China. Geopolitical tensions are also rising, particularly in the South China Sea, where territorial disputes have become a major flashpoint between China and the Philippines, America's proxy in Asia. Considering the conflict between Manila's pro-America president and pro-China vice president, we do not think the US can easily force the Philippines to fight China. Without China, the Philippines will suffer from a slack economy. Undoubtedly, China's economic influence is spreading rapidly, with the Belt and Road Initiative aiming to reconnect the ancient Silk Road and create a vast network of trade partnerships with 150 countries. China is making friends and doing business with the rest of the world. Without firing a single bullet at any country, China has become a superpower, which is based on respect and cooperation, not military coercion like the United States. As the manufacturing hub for the whole world, China exports affordable commodities and helps its partners build ports, roads, bridges, and industrial parks. Unlike China, the US seeks to maintain its military dominance, focusing on strengthening its alliances and projecting power across the globe. Of course, China is not alone militarily, and it understands the importance of having Russia at its back. Under Trump's second presidency, the US will try to alienate Russia from China, but we do not think Donald Trump can outsmart Putin and Xi Jinping. Moreover, Trump has only 4 years ahead of him, while Putin and Xi Jinping can rule their nations much longer if they wish. Moreover, Trump cannot guarantee his successor will also be a Republican and continue his policy, but his Russian and Chinese counterparts can manage theirs better in this regard. The Chinese government, particularly, has long-term goals and short-term plans to develop its economy and military step by step, like running a company. In the United States, however, partisan gridlock is dominating the domestic agenda, with Democrats and Republicans undermining each other. For instance, the outgoing President Biden already dug many holes for Donald Trump before leaving the White House. Last week, thousands of U.S. government employees landed a deal to work at home till the end of 2029, beyond Donald Trump's next term. We wonder how Elon Musk can force them back to the office after January 2025, as he threatened earlier. The funniest thing is that Elon Musk, a businessman, never a politician, looks more prominent than Donald Trump. Their partnership shows America's democracy is the biggest joke ever, where money talks louder than anything else. Arrogant Donald Trump and complacent Elon Musk are birds of the same feather, and we hardly believe they can tolerate each other for long. In China and Russia, no business tycoons can influence politics as deeply as Elon Musk does. Instead, some Chinese and Russian billionaires are put in jail. Chinese and Russian leaders, even if a lot of people in the world do not like them, are more capable than America's amateur politicians. In the military field, China is catching up quickly with the United States, as its defense budget has grown exponentially in recent years, with a focus on modernizing its naval and air forces. Beijing has invested heavily in next-generation technologies such as hypersonic missiles, stealth fighters and military drones, where the US is still struggling. China's J-35 and J-20 series have gained air superiority over America's F-35 family. Elon Musk ridiculed the F-35 as made by idiots when he saw China's swamp of drones. The two nations are also locked in a space race, with both sides seeking to establish a dominant presence in orbit. On this front, China is taking the lead and NASA is crawling. The battle for cultural soft power is also heating up. Both nations are engaging in a war of words over data privacy and intellectual property theft. When the US possibly pushes more Chinese students and scholars away during Trump's new term, it may finally lose the battle to China. The world is watching with bated breath as these two superpowers clash, and the outcome will shape the course of history for generations to come. So, who will lead the future? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos on global affairs for more insights into this complex and rapidly evolving landscape. We have included most of our videos in the playlist DFTW videos on the end screen for viewers who have not watched them. For those new to DFTW, please subscribe to our channel for our daily uploads. Like, forward and share our videos with your friends, helping DFTW become a club with 1 million, not 100,000 subscribers shortly. We have 85,000 subs now, and we rely on you to grow it even bigger.